I'll continue. Yeah. Daniel looked at the flash drive containing Pikachu in Sally's hand, then said, "Because of that little thing inside the Pikachu that you're holding in your hand." Sally's eyes widened, then said, "Are you some kind of secret agent or something? What's this thing contain?" "It's a long story," said Daniel. "But right now, just type, quote, 'I haven't been followed.' In the past, I haven't been followed in the past hours." Yeah, just type, "I haven't been followed in the past hour," and it should relieve the fears of my company. After Sally had typed out that sentence, she handed the Qualcomm to Daniel, who then sent the message off to his company. "Why were you attacked?" she asked a now concerned Sally. "Daniel used a truck around the hill. It all began when one of my fellow It all began when one of my fellow teachers in the teacher's room of my school talked about finding something in his computer. Something that had been downloaded from one of the substitutes who used to work for my school district, but who hadn't been seen in about a year at that school. It was something he had downloaded about 2 years earlier. "What did he download?" asked Sally. "Something on Islam. It was a video of himself asking Muslim viewers if they'd feel safe to swallow poison if they had first eaten 7 ajwa dates in that morning, because Muhammad said that if you eat 7 ajwa dates in the morning, you'll be protected all day from both magic and poison." He gave the Sahih hadith name and number for anyone who might want to look it up. He reminded them that the word Sahih means authentic, which means Mo wasn't joking when he said that. Sally looked at the coming stretch of road. "You said something in his computer. I take it that wasn't the only thing found in his computer, true?" "No, that was all that was found in his computer that the sub had downloaded. The thing is, though, it got all the other teachers going to their computers to see if he had downloaded stuff on Islam when he substituted in their classes. Turns out that he did, and each download was something totally different. One video had him asking Muslims if they believed Satan slept in the upper interior of their nose during the night while they slept, which again is another authentic saying from the Hadith. Another teacher found a video of him asking Muslims who had corrupted Allah's book, i.e. the Bible, if Allah is predestining everyone. Another video had him asking Muslims if they believed water was not defiled except in taste, smell, and color, being that Muhammad said that, and used pond water drink that had a dead donkey in it. In my computer, I found that he wasn't asking Muslims questions. Instead, he was explaining how the Quran says it's a, quote, confirmation of previous scriptures, that is, the Bible. Why is that important? Asked Sally. Because, said Daniel, the Quran and the Bible are polar opposites to each other. There's no confirmation going on between them at all. They are like matter and antimatter. Muslims see the problem, so they have to believe the Bible became corrupted. There's just one little snag with that thinking. Actually, a giant snag. The Dead Sea Scrolls were in existence long before the Quran. Why is that important? Asked Sally. Because the ancient Dead Sea Scrolls are almost identical to the modern translations of the Old Testament. Not one jot or tittle has changed in over 2,000 years. Sally thought about what Daniel just told her. Then she changed the subject. Are you saying you tried to collect all those videos the sub fellow downloaded into the teacher's computers at your school? Daniel smiled and said, hell no. I thought the guy was a loon. There was one teacher who did do that, making his own flash drive, but what you have in your hands isn't that flash drive. What you have is the original. That's the flash drive that got him making all those videos exposing Islam. It also got me into trucking. Sally squeezed the Pikachu doll to see if she could feel it. There was something hard within. She then asked, well, how did you get a hold of it? Did he give it to you? Did he give it to you? Daniel's smile seemed to fade and said, I took sick leave to visit my dad in the hospital. He was on his way out and I needed a sub. I didn't request this sub. The district's computer called him up and he subbed in my class without my knowing it until the following day. That's when I found the flash drive still attached to the back of my old desktop computer. No doubt he probably downloaded the data into my computer of his own and didn't really need it anymore. Still, with all that's on it, I find it baffling that he walked off without it. Of course, a flash drive is only as important as what's on it. Strange, said Sally. A device that changed your life, and he just walks away from it. Daniel noticed the truck was beginning to slide a bit. He put the truck into a lower gear. This isn't good. Looks like I'll have to put on chains. Of course, my driving time is almost up, and I haven't seen one place to stop a truck. So I looked at the flash drive as if in deep thought and repeated, Daniel, do you know what happened to the sub? Daniel shook his head and replied, all I know is he had been gone from my school for over a year. I didn't know at the time, but he had become a trucker. After a year, he quit his job due to a misunderstanding with his trucking company. Something that sounded like a supernatural event helped get him fired. Regardless, he returned to the thing he really loved, substitute teaching, but he was only in it for a very short time. He was a Muslim? Asked Sally. Was is the active word for sure. He left Islam, and according to the Hadith, Daniel suddenly was interrupted by 2 beeps on the Qualcomm, letting him know that he'd be in violation within an hour. Damn, said Daniel. I thought so. I only have 1 hour of drive time. Then I have to shut it down or be in violation. And man, there's just no place I can see to park this truck. Whoever designed... Whoever planned this highway must have hated truckers. Sally then asked, what happens if you go into violation? I have to see a bunch of safety videos that tell me nothing I don't already know. Hopefully my company will understand that I just ended up on a snowy road, hostile to big rigs. Sally then asked again, well, you say this guy was a Muslim. Are you sure he just wasn't acting Muslim? Daniel shifted to a lower gear as the truck started going up a grade. Oh, he wasn't acting. He took Islam seriously for a while, but it was his questioning mind that got him out of it. In the process, he had to die. You see, once a Muslim, always a Muslim. If you leave Islam, you have to die. Sally was silent. Daniel went on. On the last day he was seen, he was teaching my science class. From student reports, he was getting a lot of calls on his cell phone. His conversation was caught on one of the student cell phone cameras. What did he say? Asked Sally. It sounded like he was making critical points against Islam. The next day, reports came in that he was killed in his mobile home due to a faulty gas leak. And all that because he was exposed in Islam? Asked Sally. Surprising, isn't it? You say he was making critical points against Islam. Like what? Well, Daniel paused. What's it tell you about a religion? Well, Daniel paused. What's it tell you about a religion and its God when its God has to have its followers threaten death on anyone who will question it? Does that religion sound true and noble to you? Is that a religion worth killing for? Is that a religion worth lying for? He was basically trying one last effort to get them to doubt Islam. He felt that if he could get them he felt that if he could get them to doubt Islam, it would make them hesitant in their attempts to carry out what Muhammad in the Hadith commands Muslims to do with apostates. From the news that followed, it sounds like he wasn't very successful. Anyway, he never downloaded anything further into my computer while he subbed that day, making me wonder if it wasn't a mistake that he left the flash drive attached to my computer. with the threatening calls he was receiving, disrupting the class. Maybe he totally forgot that he had attached the flash drive to my computer earlier that day. He did actually manage to leave a subnote for me to tell me how the morning classes went. But there was no more notes after fourth period. I think he was so rattled by the threats coming in over his cell that by fifth period, he was totally oblivious to all the class activity. He just ended the note to me with, "Well, it's been bizarre. Yeah, it's been bizarre. Goodbye, and have a nice life." He didn't bother. Oh, crap. I went past the time. I can't download that to YouTube now. Oh, well. Oh, okay, I'll turn it off here. Crap, I went past the time. I need to get a timer. I've got to do that right now. I'll turn this off right now. I'll be back.